Now that's going to take a 1 minute, 1 second while I sign into this. Welcome, Olusegun. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Okay. So we have that. So we're recording now. All right. So on this particular, do you remember that we talked about spontaneous happiness? I mean, spontaneous things that you do for pleasure. So today, how about some things that you intentionally plan for pleasure? What are some things that maybe you don't do yet, you would like to do? That's also fine. Or some things that you intentionally plan for pleasure. So everybody just unmute yourself or put in the chat box. What are some things that you intentionally plan for pleasure?
I do weekends away in hotels just randomly. So yeah, just go away.
And what do you do when what do you do when you do this weekends away?
Just sleep, eat, watch TV, go and have a walk. Just relax. Enjoy the
Excellent.
facilities.
So it's just is it by yourself or do you go with friends?
Both.
Okay.
I don't have to have people around me to enjoy myself, so I can go by myself.
Did you hear what she said? I don't have to have people around me to enjoy myself. Absolutely. So you enjoy your own presence.
Yep. Yeah.
Excellent.
But I do quite a lot of it with friends though.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. All right. Juliet, anything that you do or you would like to do in 2023?
I'd like to go for more massages. I enjoy them, but I haven't booked enough. Last year, I didn't do as much as I would like. So I'd like to do that like on a monthly basis, the hot stone massage and things like that.
Oh, yes, girl. Also try a Thai massage. That thing is intense. A Thai massage, and then they add the hot stone to it. You know, the combo.
Yes.
Oh, it's really nice. All right. So Juliet, but let me just help you with here. If you did not do any last year, but this year you want to do every month, isn't that kind of like a very, you're jumping from nothing to every month?
Too much.
It's not that, it's just I don't want you to set a goal that is going to fail.
Right.
Go back to last year, I didn't have any. So this year, if I have 4, it would be a great improvement from last year. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, it doesn't mean you can't do it every month, but it means you've set a goal. So if you do more than the goal, then it's icing on the cake, if that makes sense. Go ahead, Juliet.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I wanted to book a block. The last time I did it, I booked a block and then booked one for every month. That was the year before. So, but what you're saying is quite right, so that I don't overextend myself. But yeah.
Yeah, because what you don't want is, I did every month from 2021, then 2022, I didn't do any. 2022, 23, I'm going to do every year. And then 23, you know what? I always talk about sustainability. Things have to be sustainable. How are you going to be able to sustain anything that you decide to do in 2023? Is it sustainable? And that, because this one thing that's sustainable is effective. If it's not sustainable, then it's no longer effective. Yeah.
Right.
All right. So we're able to do that. And then Olusegun Banji is the first name. Olusegun, which one is the first name? I spend quality time with my friends, especially the females. What does that mean? Okay. I mean, what do you mean, especially the females?
Okay. Yeah. Olusegun is the first name. Like I enjoy times I spend with the females more than the males.
Ah, okay. What is that? What is it? What is the dynamic? What? Tell me about that.
Well, I don't know. I just the way they interact, and I kind of like variety, so I'm used to the guys already. So
Okay, I
like
see.
just spending time with them, hearing different ways of thinking.
Ah, okay. So do you tend to have a lot of female friends then?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay. All right. It's funny because I also have I mean, growing up, I had more male friends than female. And even now in my life, a lot of my friends are male, which is a lot of people don't, it's funny because I just enjoy talking to them. All right. So but what I guess Olusegun, what we're asking is you already talked to the females. So is there anything you're adding to that this year? And I forgot to ask Shanette that too. Is there anything you're adding to that this year? Or you have not or you haven't thought about it yet. If you haven't started thinking about it, add something new to your wellness this year.
Definitely more traveling. So yeah, I didn't travel that much last year or the previous year, so definitely more traveling.
Yeah,
Please
also
join our wellness travel page. And anytime we have a place that we're going and you all want to be a part of it, please join us. But our focus this year is Africa. So we're doing
Oh,
a lot of
great.
African trips.
Great.
The first next month we start so we're going to we're going to Egypt, Ethiopia, Nairobi, which is in Kenya, and Tanzania. So we'll do those 4 first, and then we'll go like every quarterly. So if you are going to travel and you want to join, and if you can join our team, please feel free. I'm a lone traveler anyway, but this year I'm looking for people to, I will be okay if people went with me. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Shanette, for that.
Could you send a link to somewhere, Doctor, to
Oh,
that?
yes, our travel wellness group. Let me put the link in the chat room for you.
Thank you.
All give me a quick second. Let me grab this link for her, okay? And while we're doing that, can somebody read what Monisola said out, because I think she can speak in the bus right now. Can somebody read it out, please, while I'm getting this link? Okay, nobody wants to read it out.
I'll read it. Can you hear me, ma?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I said I plan on exercising at least 3 times a week this year. Okay, this year I mean this year. And I have been learning to play the piano because I want to be able to play in church. I plan on improving on that. And I plan on traveling more this year. So
Wow, you have a busy life. You're learning to play the piano. Well, your musical how do I say it? It looks like there's music runs in your family, doesn't it?
yes.
Yeah, I try to learn to play the piano. I have a piano in my house right now. You know those times where your children would think, then they say they want to play the piano, and then they decide they want something else. So they have a piano sitting here, and I decided, okay, I'm going to learn how to play it. It didn't work out. I I don't know. I don't think I have the patience. I'll try it again this year. Maybe I'd need a tutor. You know what I mean? Travel wellness group. So well
You can
done.
Professor, you can get Simply Piano. It's very good. That's what I've been learning Oh.
Say that again. I can get what?
There's an app called Simply Piano. It's really good.
Oh, really? Okay, put it in the chat for me, please. Let me see.
Actually,
Let
I
me see.
will.
Put it in the chat. All right. So we have Monisola that's going to learn. That's going to add exercise to her regimen this year. And she said 3 times a week. Is that you said 3 times a week? So how many times did you do last year? Three times this week.
Last year I was very lazy, so I had to.
Okay.
And okay.
Okay, we can't really hear you. That's fine. It's fine. All right. So then I think we got everyone. Oh, Bukola is on here. Buki, how are you?
I was going out every day. Okay, you can't hear.
Okay. We can't really hear you. That's okay. You can mute yourself and let's do the chat until you're in a better place. Yeah. Buki, Mrs. Oluyadis.
Hello. Good
How are
evening.
you?
I'm fine.
We're talking about intentional wellness, what you add to your life to have pleasure, we're saying, okay, things that you enjoy to do. So I know you know, look, just to clarify what we're saying, you know, when you're doing meaningful work, that you can get pleasure from that too. But this is just fun stuff. Okay, that's what we're saying. What are you adding to it and to your life this year that is either your pleasure or your personal goal? So Buki, you can unmute yourself.
Okay. Oh, well, I think this year for pleasure, I intend to sleep more. Sorry, very boring, but my body needs it. And then to infuse eating out and going to plays, you know. I do those things, but I never get to do them the way I want. So intentionally to try and sleep over the weekend. Of course, my exercise regime has resumed back. I think I took a break after my birthday last year and I just went off
You
eating.
took a break after your birthday. Your birthday was like, okay, look at that.
Yeah. So now I'm working my way back. So mornings, very quick stuff, but I think my intentionality this year is about very little things, but I can be consistent with. Because consistency, I think, would do it for me.
Yeah,
So
it needs to be sustainable. It needs to be sustainable. It needs to be something that you'll still be doing 10 years, 20 years from now.
Yeah.
You know what? I remember when I started exercising.
Okay.
This was it was almost 2 decades now.
Okay.
Right? But I remember that first day, and one of my sisters made fun of me and said, it's not going to last because sometimes, you know, you do stuff and it's because at that time, gym was not a thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like what she was like, what do you like? What? And I didn't even think it was going to last either. But I just kept going and I kept going and I kept going and I kept going. Year 1, year 2, year 3. And honestly, the times that I took breaks, which was like the time I took breaks from the gym was during COVID.
Okay.
Because nobody could go to the gym, but I was doing it in my house. And also when I picked up running, when I turned 50, I picked up running.
Yes.
Right. And so I did that until my knee got messed up.
You know,
yes.
Yeah.
So, but imagine just one, you know, just making sure that you're consistent and find something that will make you consistent, if that makes sense. So for me, it was paying for the gym. And I knew that I'm spending money every month. And I like the variety of gyms. So I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that. But for other people can be walking, just enjoy. I loved walking outside and just enjoying the outside. That is also something. Yeah. I never thought I was
Yes,
going to go back to the gym, but I've
oh,
done it
okay.
because
I
of the
think,
weather. Yeah.
oh, I
So,
knew that going to the gym might not be sustainable for me, even though
mhm.
my son has done it so well. I can't even believe it. But me, my timings and all that, I knew I would mess it up. So I took to walking. So that was one of the things I took a break from. And you won't believe why. Just because my working partner he left work, and so there's no one to walk with after 6 o'clock at work. And I'm
Okay.
saying that, okay, this time I'm not waiting for anyone again. So we're getting back into that. But at home, the home one has resumed, and I'm loving it.
Okay,
So
good.
I think just do little things, but just keep at it. That's what I've told myself. Don't overdo it the bookie way, overdoing.
Overdoing. Just stay consistent. Whatever you're
Mm-hmm.
going to do, stay consistent on it. A lot of people, at the first of the year, when you go to the gym like this, you see all of these people and their mothers there.
Oh,
By
some
by the
people.
end of January, they have all dropped out.
They have,
So,
yes.
let's make sure that we're not one of those people. We're wellness. I think when it's in the head that this body that God has given us and this life that
Mm-hmm.
God has given us, it's not supposed to be tedious. We have to enjoy
True.
life a little bit. All right.
Yeah.
And so this is why when we talk about the pleasant life is about happiness in the place of desire, in the place of the things you
Yeah.
enjoy doing. Bookie, you talked about plays, just
Yeah.
I love going to plays. I love going to those kind of things. It's good to do those things. I have a daughter who loves plays and love those arts things. So I look forward on her birthday every year to do something big in terms of going to some of those,
Yeah.
Broadway kind of off Broadway plays and
True.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So do whatever it is that makes you that gives you pleasant, that will give you a pleasant life. And then of course from the pleasant life is the good life. I don't know, Juliet, I hope we didn't miss you. I hope you already said yours. Oh yeah, I think you did. You did. So the good life, and the good life is about your own personal goals. It's about your own personal objectives in life. How are you developing yourself? People develop themselves professionally, but they never did develop
Yeah.
themselves personally. Do you want to
True.
be more trustworthy? Do you want to be more
Mm.
patient? You want to be more patient? That's always a work in progress for me, patience, right? Do you want to be kinder to people and kinder to yourself? So as you're doing your professional goals, a lot of people are, taking courses, certificates in this and that, but developing your own personal self, the core of you, of who you are, is also part of wellness.
Mm.
Maybe I don't want to be so angry this year. Maybe I don't want to yell at my kids all the time this year. Maybe I want to be more, whatever it is, that the pleasant person, like the good life is about you living your best life from the inside out, right?
Mm.
So that when people are around you, it's a joy to be around you. It's not so much about smiling all the time. It's not just that. It's about authentically embracing the dimensions of wellness.
Mm.
That in your community, you're relevant. That in your emotional life, you're safe and you're well. And that in your relationships, you show up and you're not just checking a box. People can say, oh, you have a lot of friends, or yeah, it is, but you're just checking boxes because you don't really show up in the emotional self. Either because you've been hurt, or you've been this, or you've been that. So you're very transactional. Oh, this friend will do this for me. That friend will do that for me. That friend will do this for me, and I will do this for them. And you're just transaction, and you're living your life that way. Maybe in 2023, you want to slow down and say, I just want to be with my friends, and I want them to see me. It doesn't have to be every single friend, but you should have some core people that can see you for you are. And that when somebody's in your presence in 2023, you're gifting them the gift of you. You're not thinking in your mind what you're going to do, where you're going to be, but you actually gift them you. See, those are personal developments. Personal developments. So you can develop yourself professionally, but you can also develop yourself personally. So in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself, what are some other ways we can develop ourselves personally, in addition to what I have just said? What are some ways we can develop ourselves personally? You know, a personal development. Yes, I'll wait either for you to write it or for you to unmute yourself.
Taking up hobbies.
Picking up hobbies, okay?
Yes, I like gardening, so I need to.
Gardening.
I didn't spend a lot of time doing that last year, so that really gives me joy, gardening and seeing flowers bloom and all that. So,
well, see, that would be under pleasant life.
Oh, pleasant life. Okay.
Yeah, that would be under pleasant life. So the good life has to do with personal or professional development. Yeah. So I want to learn to, like some of the things I just said, or the emotional part of it. I want to develop, I want to be more, I want to be kinder, I want to be more this, I want to be whatever. I want to visit more friends. I want to add value to my community by taking up of my church, by joining some kind of group. You know, those are personal things that and professional things that you want to develop. I want to learn how to personally, I've done things like this year I'm literally learning this social media thing, because I'm on it all the time. So I'm investing into learning it. That's what the good life is about. So what else can you do in terms of this? Anyone else? Oh, did you all go to sleep on me?
I want to take some free courses.
Okay.
What is Sharnette? What did you say?
I want to take some free online courses.
Some free online courses?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just random stuff. I haven't decided what it is yet.
And then Olusegun said, I want to improve my drumming skills. Okay. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Right now you're intermediate. Okay. I get it. All right. And okay, I'm still waiting for the rest of you.
Okay, Buki here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so I joined a group to do some intentional savings. So this year I want to have a serious overhaul of my financial life. You know, I want to intentionally plan for myself, you know. That's one. The second thing is I do a lot of doodling, so I want to learn how to put that into design for templates. Now, it's not an early in the year design, because this early year is looking choked at work, but sometime mid-year I should go into that. I just feel that in place will help me even ease out tension more, you know, just putting things into creative designs and all that. Yes, that's it.
Excellent. Well done. Anyone else? Munisola and Juliet. Juliet, do you have another one? Or we can just keep your gardening as part of it.
Well, another one for me, I don't know if it's it could be pleasure again. It's something I haven't done that I'm trying to do more this year. That gives me enjoyment is reading. Trying to spend time. Would that be pleasure again as opposed to good life?
It's okay. You know what? It's the things that you need to work on, then those are the things you're going to work on. Now, and so let's just be intentional. So for example, whatever you say you want to work on, you know, you have to take the first step towards it, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you have to take the first step towards it, right? And plan on it. So the Segun that talks about it wants to be a great drummer. You didn't say that, but that's what I'm saying for you. So you want to be this great drummer. How are you going to do that? What does that entail? You know, so those are the kind of things that we're talking about. What does that entail? Now, here are some fundamentals. I'm going to share my screen. Monisola, I think she's probably not in a place she can join us. So I'm going to share my
I'm home now. I'm home
Oh,
now.
you're home
Sorry.
now.
I just
Oh,
yes. I'm just trying to
okay.
sit down.
So let us know when you can share what your personal and professional goal for this year would be, okay?
I can share now.
Okay, go ahead.
I plan on, well, I've already joined the class. Well, we haven't started. Oh, let me. Okay.
Yeah, but you can share it.
So I plan on I forgot what your coaching, your trauma
Yeah, the
informed
trauma course,
yes,
the
I plan
integrated
on
trauma course.
that one. Yes. So I'm going to do that. That's very good for my career and for personally it's good for me and for me to use it in church because I teach the youth as well. And of course for family, for my daughter, for everyone around me, and for myself as well. So I think it's a very good one. So I plan on doing that.
And that's going to be, are you taking the professional 8 weeks one, or are you taking the 15-week course?
The 15-week one.
Okay, so I'm glad you talked about that. If you guys have not heard about that course, make sure you find out about it. Shernette took the 8-week one too. So make sure you take it. It will change your life. So I don't know what the link is. Oh, Bingpe is here. Bingpe, if you can put a link in the chat box, will be great for anyone, and also put the link in the Facebook room, please. All right, so let's talk about 14 fundamentals of happiness. 14 did we get everybody? Did Bingpe just got here, but Bingpe, you there? All right, so while she's getting herself together.
Yes, ma'am, here.
Okay, so 14, so did you get what I said about the chat?
Yeah, that's what I was doing. That's why I couldn't answer.
All right, thank you. So 14 fundamentals. We're going to look about fundamentals of happiness. What are some of the fundamentals of happiness? So number one, happy people are more active and keep busy. Oh, before I go to that, I didn't tell you the third part of happiness. The first one was a pleasant life. The second one was a good life. And the third one was a meaningful life, right? And a lot of us always flow into that meaningful life. We always flow there, you know. That is a life where you're constantly, you know, you're the one that would open the church and close the church. You're the one that will pray and fast for everybody and their father. You're the one that will think that you're Jesus's husband, you're Jesus's wife, or Jesus's partner. You know, it's as if heaven will not move without you. You know, you're constantly, meaning, right? That is a very unbalanced life. You have to have all three dimensions. You need some pleasure in your life, some just fun, like just something fun that you do. Not like nothing is serious, not that serious all the time. You know, just, you know, I know we talk about some really big stuff today, you know, but, you know, just goofing around the house with your kids or even by yourself, you know, goofing around, you know, something just fun that you do for yourself. And then, of course, we talked about having your own personal and professional goals and the meaning. So if you don't have meaning, that means you don't have purpose. You don't know how you're helping other people, then you need to add that to it so you can have a full life. So a happy life is a full life. So when we're talking about happiness, we're not talking about just smiling around, and no, it's not the don't worry, be happy. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about authentic happiness. We're talking about a full life. You know, And if you are a Christian, it's not just a full life, it should be till it's full and it overflows. See, the overflow is for others. The overflow is for others. The full cup is for you. The overflow is for others. Does this make sense? I'm actually going to do a video about this after this call. The full cup is for you. The overflow. So keep filling your life, keep filling it up, right? So what are the fundamentals of fundamentals of happiness? So number one, people who are happy are more active. They keep busy, you know. I mean, they keep not just business, but they keep engaged. You know, they're engaged in their own life and they're engaged in other people's lives. Happy people get more out of life because they just invest more in it. People, we need to begin to seed things constantly. Seeding is a part of happiness. In this life, in this place called life, if you're not seeding, you're not going to get back of it. So basically, you're seeding in relationships, you're seeding in play, you're seeding in at work. You're embracing all areas of life. You're embracing all areas of life. So that means you're engaged in a wider range of investing your energy in different things. And that gives you enthusiasm. You don't need to do drugs. You don't need to take any kind of medication just to give you joy. If you can take these happiness fundamentals that we're talking about and do them. Yeah. So doing things that you actually enjoy, decide in 2023 that you are going to invest in what you enjoy doing. Look, what is the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen in life, in anybody's life? The worst thing for any human being? Anybody?
The death.
Death.
Death. But realize we're all going to die. Right? So we all have an expiration date. Everybody. And nobody really knows when that is. You know, of course you can say, oh, God has promised us 70 years, or God has promised us 120 years, or whatever you want to say. But don't people die at, didn't Jesus himself die at 33? Yeah. Don't people die at 18? Don't people die at, nobody knows. Nobody knows. We all pray and hope that we would live long. So if I know that this is an expiration date, and if you've lived over 40, you've probably lived half of it already. I'm not saying you're going to die at 80, but let's just assume. I mean, look, for those of you who live in Nigeria, do you know what the average lifespan is in Nigeria? Does anybody know? Come on.
40?
Anybody?
40?
40.
40? Yeah.
Let me read it out to you. Anyone else?
Probably
Another
less than
guess?
that.
65?
60.
Nah.
People are living longer.
And so I get 40, I get 65. It's somewhere very closer to that. It is 52 years old.
Oh.
The
Okay.
life expectancy, and which is the best it's ever been. So when we hear people die at 56 in that country, they've actually lived longer than was expected of them.
Mm.
Yeah. The average lifespan in some of these countries are so low. In other countries, they're like 80 something, people are living longer because of medications and all of and quality of life. But either way, either it's 52 or it's 82, there's an expiration date. Does this make sense? So which means that whatever living you need to do, don't postpone it. Don't postpone it. And my most and one of the things I usually say is when the prophet Jeremiah was saying what God told the captives of Babylon, and the Lord told them, build houses, plant vineyards, marry your children in captivity, which means that's just saying you don't need to wait for the right time. There are no right times. Today is the right time. Now is the time. Now, today is the time. So decide that you're going to live your life and live it in a way that gives you joy. Yeah. Happy people spend more time socializing. If you say, oh, I'm so shy, I don't have any friends. No. Everybody can make friends. Anybody can make friends, unless there's a reason that, in fact, maybe it has to be with trauma or something, and then work on that trauma. All right. Did you know that when you are living that full, happy life that we just talked about, you're more creative? You're more creative. You just start having ideas. You just start having ideas. Things just being, you're just thinking, okay, this is how this should do. You just things that your eyes just begin to open, and you're like, oh wow, why didn't I ever think of this? It's because you're no longer living in the stressed out, up-regulated life. You're now more purposeful, more productive, and you'll get things that you get things done that are meaningful to your life. Does this make sense? And you then also learn to say no. You learn to choose you. If you're always saying yes to everything, it's because you think you're so important. I love to, I love to talk to religious people. I'm a Christian, so I talk to Christians. It's because you think you're so important. So if only you volunteers for all of those things that they want you to do, you're the one that's going to lead the prayer. You're the one that's going to lead the fellowship. You're the one that's going to close the church. You're the one that's going, if you are, so you think if the church will not exist without you, then there's something wrong with the entire setup of that place. Do you understand? So your kids won't see you. If you're married, your husband won't see you, or your wife won't see you, because you're doing God's work. Well done. As if God needs your help, or as if you're the only one. So make sure you say no this year. I'm so sorry, I can't do that. And it's not just at church, it's also at work. Volunteer 1 is your hand up. Volunteer 2 is your hand up. Volunteer 3 is your hand up. If you're in an organization, the wheels keep churning. Even when you leave, the company is not going to close down. In fact, they will fill your space, your spot right away. So you don't kill yourself. When I was in corporate America, I used to tell my friends this. I had a group of, I call them sister girls. We used to just hang out during because most of them were men in suits, white men in suits. So, those sister girls, we had ourselves. And one of the things that we would say, I used to tell them this. I say to them, don't invest all of your talents and skills and empty it into this company. You better start building something for yourself, no matter how little it is. Do you understand? Build your own talents, build your own skills, invest in your own self, because you're going to need it. You're going to need it. Shernette, I see that said it's already starting to do that. Very good. Be organized this year. Happy people are organized. Organize yourself. Organize your life. Don't be just so disorganized. Everything is just chaotic. starting from maybe organize your desk. Organize your desk. Make your bed when you wake up. I mean, these are simple things, but you don't understand how this is being organized. Organize your side, the side dresser. Organize spaces, organize your kitchen. As you're organizing your outside life, your inside life is getting organized. I'm not kidding you. I teach this in my anatomy class when we're talking about the brain. Your inward self will begin to organize itself as you're organizing your outside self. Put order in your life. Organize your contacts. Organize whatever it is that you need to organize so that you are not just floating with the wind. This happens, that happens. Oh, yes, no, none of that.
Peter, can I?
Yes,
just
please.
say something? Okay, so around, sorry, I'm driving. So around organizing yourself, I found out over time that maybe because of the nature of my work, you never really know what's up for the next day, even when you've drawn up all your to-dos, things just get thrown into the works and you just have to jump at it. So sometime along the line, I learned this, what's this concept. So I started by whenever I get up, no matter how late I am, I quickly straighten and put my bed in order. And then when I get to the office, I quickly check that my table is neat and set. You won't believe, as simple as if I feel that there's a lot of pressure on me, I bring out my makeup box, I empty it, and I clean out everything. And once I've done that, I start feeling relaxed, and then I take on the next task, like that. So I found this work for me. I just thought to share that. As simple as cleaning up the makeup box. Maybe it works.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, because that stuff works. It works. Just take a spot and whatever. She said a makeup bag, whatever, just whatever it is, it gives you a sense of calm. Someone like me, I don't understand how people can operate in messiness. Some people have their own organized messiness. I don't understand it. Yeah, right. But whatever it is. And I remember those days too, Buki. I remember that I would be getting home at 10, 11 o'clock at night. So I intentionally would make sure that I woke up early enough to go to the gym or to do my workout, because if I didn't, that whole entire day was taken from me. Yeah. But of course, that's not sustainable for anybody. I got off that train after about 2 decades. So I'm living my best. I'm living my best life now. Thank God for that. Professionally. So thanks for sharing that, Buki. Now worry. How about worrying needlessly? How many of you are worriers? Like you worry about everything. You worry about this, you worry about that. Okay, come on. Any worriers in the room? Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm not a typical warrior, but I catch myself sometimes, I would, I'm that happy-go-lucky girl, but a few things that I found out creep up into the realm of worry. And the first way I find and I know is when I start having a niggling headache, then I quickly stop and I check myself. So that means somebody has dropped one information and I've taken it and I'm thinking on it, or I've put it in one backspace and it's not just going. So immediately I find that I start having a dull ache. I know that whatever that information was, I stepped into that realm of worry, and I quickly go and look for something else to do. Either I jump out, go and look for something nice to eat, or I walk out and just talk to other colleagues away from my immediate work. And if it's at home, I can jump into the kitchen. I just cook up something simple and nice just to take my mind off. And then I calculatedly, put that thought in a good place to say, okay, this is how I'll deal with it. And then I get over it. But I sometimes used to deceive myself that I didn't worry. But after I found that out, I now watch out, and I try to deal with it. Thank you.
Very good. I thank you for sharing that. I see some other things on the chat. Let's see. Melissa said, I already started saying, okay, no, thanks for sharing. Okay. I am a warrior, overthinking things, need to change. When you find yourself really like constantly ruminating and worrying and stuff, you might need to also just talk to somebody, and see what that is all about, right? So it's not so much that we can just stop some things that we do in our lives. It is so much that we need to get the help that we need when we need it. Does this make sense? So then if so, worrying needlessly. Well, Monisola said, I worry sometimes, but not all the times. I catch myself too, like Bookie. Okay, so just for Bookie and Monisola, and when Bookie said something about when she gets the headache, she knows that somebody has dropped something. You want in 2023, you don't even want to get the headache, because by the time you get that headache, it means your entire system has been impacted.
True.
So you have to rethink things. You have to. So let me give you an example because this recently happened to me. I went to Queen's College, Yaba, and the toilet was horrendous. Okay, in the boarding house, the toilet was horrendous, and because of that, I'm a neat freak when it comes to toilets. Like your toilet cannot have one dot like this. Like I will clean it and I would clean it and I'll clean it. So if somebody goes there and messes it up, it triggers me. It takes me right back to Yaba, Lagos. And so in order to get rid of that, you have to practice something called edge thinking. All right, it's called edge thinking. Edge thinking is you take a thought that triggers you and drive it to the edge of that thought so that you can take the poison out of it. All right. So what I did was, I'm sharing my thought process it's not very, it's not, the topic is not a nice topic, but that was what came to my mind to share. And I had to drive to it like, well, this is natural waste products. people had to do that. They just didn't have the water at the time to clean themselves up. I had to bring it down to just basic human thing so that I don't look at it as trauma. Yeah. So I started looking at it as just, well, it's like, before there were toilets, people were doing those kind of things in different places. But do you know, it took the thing away from me. So the same thing, when you're hearing something or somebody's dropping something in your lap, or the trauma has to do with not integrating something in your head. If you can give it meaning, if you can understand it in a place where you give it insight, it ceases to be trauma. It ceases to even impact you in any stressful way. Does this make sense? So drive that thought, think about it to the edge, and then it would not be a trauma anymore. But we don't want to get to the place where your body's already reacting to stuff, because then it's already been damaged. We don't want to get to that point. We won't want to get to that point. Yeah. You want to get to the point where you give that thought a meaning. People think about one of the reasons why people get so traumatized or stressed out is because there's an A or B solution. And if there's the A or B solution doesn't work, then there's stress. So, for example, I have to get admissions to, let's say school. If I don't get admissions to that school, I don't have a plan B. You understand? So that becomes stressful because now this is my only solution to this thing, you know, and if that doesn't work, then that becomes a thing. So in order, before I even get into that place, I would have already given myself different solutions around that. This is how you don't needlessly worry about things. You know, we have multitudes, you know, what's his name? King Solomon told us this. It's a plant a little here, plant a little there, plant here, because you never know which one is going to sprout. That's wisdom. And that will keep us in this place. So not that we're never going to ever worry, but it's really possible. It's really possible to live a worry-less life. And then I'll share this last, I'm looking at the time. I'll share this last few ones and then we're done. This one can be tricky, but listen to me carefully. Lower your expectations if they're not realistic. Okay, so let me, especially if you don't have control of it. Oh, I want a husband who gives me flowers on Valentine's Day, who says I love you all the time. That's your expectation. The reality is that your husband, the last time he said he loves you was when you were at the altar.
Especially African men.
The last time he said he loved you was when he was at the altar. Okay, so there's you saying, there's your expectation. He's going to just walk in and with a bouquet of flowers, it's going to make me this, it's going to this, it's going to say, oh, you did such a good job. But your reality is all the way over there. So you see, in that space is where stress is. That space right there is where your stressors are. You cannot change anybody. And this could be husbands, it could be children, it could be anything, anyone. You cannot change anyone except for your children until probably the age of 12. And then they have their own mind at the time. Okay, so here we go. What you need to do is to close that by dropping your expectation. This man is never going to say, I love you. He's never going to say it. Now, can you live with that? If you can live with that, then you drop that expectation. So there's no trauma if he doesn't say it. However, the day he says it, guess what then happens? You are happy because you weren't expecting it. But if he doesn't say it, you're not sad because you weren't expecting it. In 2023, you have to readjust your expectations of things that you have no control over. Don't set the bar so high that you injure yourself. Does this make sense? You set the bar so high that you can reach it, the person cannot reach it, and so there you go. Disappointment then creeps in. So that's important. Is this helping anybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is.
There we go. So, how about, let's not talk about other people, let's talk about ourselves. Now you decide, okay, I want to make $1 million. Okay, I mean, people make $1 million every day. But last year, you only made $100. Yeah, not saying that you cannot make the $1 million, but set a goal that you can do something with. And then once you make that one, then you go to the next one. When you go to the next one, that way you don't stress yourself out. Is anybody with me here? Say yes, yes in the chat. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, where are my yes where are my yeses? I don't see yet. Okay, yes, yes, thank you. Okay, 3 people, and then Buki also said yes. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So you decide in 2023, I'm not about to stress myself out. How will you, it's like using your own hands to destroy your own joy. That's not going to happen. Now, do you know how we talk about different people? They're the realists, they're the optimists, they're the pessimists, all this mist. There's the cup half full and the cup half empty. You know what? You know who I am. I'm just happy I have a cup. I'm just happy I have a cup, man. I have a cup. Half full, you have full, half empty. Me, I'm just happy to have a cup. I don't know if I'm a optimist, realist, this risk. I'm just happy to be alive. Yeah. Happy people are more accepting of life, right? This whole idea of why is this bad thing happening to me? Why not? You're a human being. May God give you the grace to go through it. So yes, our attitudes are so important. What attitude do we have in life? I'm just happy to have a cup. I'm just happy to be here. You know, I was in a group yesterday where there was a whole bunch of, it was put together by the very important person in Nigeria. And everybody was trying to vie for position to do this, to do that. And I look, I don't need to talk. I'm just happy to be here, to be able to pass knowledge. Enjoy just being you. Try to see the positive things rather than the negative things around you. Not that you're going around with blinders on, but you're going around knowing that we're all hurting. So somebody says something bad to you today, it's not because they're evil, it's because they also probably all messed up themselves. Give them that grace. Before you can upset me, it will take a long time. Before I can get upset by you, it takes a long time. And I didn't just get here today. This has been a work in progress. I remember when I was pastoring, somebody came to me and said, Pastor, do you ever get upset? Before you can, because by the time, before you upset me, I've already given you excuse. I've already made up an excuse for you. I see Moni is going, yes, it's resonating with you.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Yeah, and it's not because of you. It's really because of me, because I don't need you to stress me out. Do you understand? So these things don't come naturally. They're what you have to, that when I was talking about working on your personal development, this is how it is. Some of you are so quick to curse people out. Yes, in your Christian way. You know, you will give people a piece of your mind just like that. I had a principal who used to say, stop giving everybody a piece of your mind, because at some point, you won't have any mind left. You know, so be careful about what you are dispersing out there. Now, of course, Jesus got angry. You know, Jesus went to the thing and got angry and chased people out. We get that, right? But it wasn't angry all the time. If you don't keep a journal of gratitude, a journal of good things that happen, you should start doing that in 2023 so that you can really understand. You can really understand this attitude. It's an attitude. It's an attitude of life, of mind. Yeah, it's an attitude. Are you all with me?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So happy people, and we're not talking about all this, don't worry, be happy stuff. You know, we're talking about authentic happiness. Happy people prioritize living than living in the present than dwelling on the past. And if you've been traumatized, that's almost impossible. You need to get help. Get into one of our classes that we've been talking about, or reach out to us. We'll link you up with somebody. Yeah. Happy people prioritize intentional living in the present. If you don't practice meditation or mindfulness, you know, it's something that you need to look into. I'll share some videos of that on the Facebook page, you know, because for traumatized people, the past is the present. And so it blocks you from seeing the present. Do you have a friend where you sing, or maybe it's you yourself, where you find out that you just can't, you just can't progress, like something is off? It's trauma. You need to work on that. Yeah. Happy people have healthy personalities. They understand that they have weaknesses and they have strengths. But watch this. They spend 80% of their time on their strengths. This is what most people do. Most people spend 80% of their time on their weaknesses, trying to do better on the weaknesses. I got to do this on the weaknesses. And you don't maximize your strength. What you need to do is surround yourself with people who can fill up those weaknesses. So if you're not good at, you know, I don't know, some people, let's talk about making hair. Some people don't know how to do hair, and they work on it and work on it and work on it, and it's frustrating for them. Pay somebody else some money so they can do that hair. You don't need to spend your day on it. You know, so whatever and that gives me a segue to the next thing I'm about to say. Get the help you need in 2023. If you can afford a housekeeper, pay for a housekeeper. If you can afford for somebody to come and babysit your children for a few days so you can have rest, you know, pay for that. Whatever money can buy for you to make life easier for yourself, do it. Do it this year, or ask for help. Ask for help. Traumatized people don't ask for help. Happy people ask for help. Ask for the help that you need. I'm not talking about asking for money, you know, okay, you have money here, you have money there, you have money. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm gonna ask for the help that you need. Ask for the help that you need. Humor. Happy people use humor. Humor. They laugh more. They laugh more. Just find yourself laughing in like little things, or just turn on this comedy thing and let them make you laugh. And I'm going to stop at this one. Be yourself in 2023. If you don't know who you are, then your job is to find it out in 2023. Make sure you're genuine. Make sure you're true to yourself. Make sure that you're comfortable within your own skin, Don't be afraid to show who you are. There is no one like you on the face of this earth. There are 8 billion of us, and there's not another person like you. So there's something that you're bringing into the equation. There's something you're bringing into this bowl of salad. You know, this salad bowl, I prefer salad bowl than melting pot. You know, when you melt everything, we don't see anybody. But salad bowl, you see the salad, you see the radishes, whatever you put in your salad. You know, you see the cucumbers, you see the tomatoes, but you put them all together and you enjoy it. That's every single ingredient in that salad contributes to your enjoyment of it, correct? So Be yourself. No, there's no other person like you. Once you start being yourself, you give other people permission to shine. Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama, this year, was it last year, started wearing braids, right? After this White House thing, she started wearing braids. She never wore braids all the 8 years she was in the White House. She started wearing braids. Which award there was an award that just happened recently. Come and see Black women wearing braids, African Americans wearing braids, because that woman gave them permission. You're somebody's permission. You're somebody's permission. You're somebody's promise. That is why being yourself, you can't look, if you copy somebody else, it's going to be very tiring. Not that you can add from somebody to you, but be yourself. And finally, don't bottle things up this year. Keeping secrets make you sick. Don't bottle anything up this year. Look, bad things are going to happen. Bad things are about to will happen from time to time, because we live in this world. So ask for help. Talk about it. And especially in a culture where there's this culture of secrecy, people, oh, I can't talk about it. I had cancer, but nobody, somebody told me not to share with anybody. Like, what? You're going through stuff and nobody knows. Say something. And if you see something, say something. There's nothing that's happening in your life that is unique in this world. Somebody in this world has gone through the same thing. They're just not talking about it. They're just not talking about it. So put in the chat box that one thing that I've just said, and part of those happenings that you're going to do in this year, in addition, nothing. Yes, absolutely. Put it in the chat box. Let's see. What is your thing? What is your thing? What is your thing out of all the stuff I've talked about? What resonated with you? Put it in the chat box or unmute yourself and say it to us. What is one of the things that resonated with you, or something that that you want to share? All right.
I'm going to ask for help. I'm going to ask for help.
Excellent.
20%. I'm going to spend only 20% on my weaknesses and ask for help this year, and spend 80%.
Excellent. Good for you. Anyone else? Okay, maybe we should speak it out so that we can all hear it.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. I am very authentic, and I do. What's the matter?
There's we have like 4 of you here. That's why you have to mute.
No, what happened though?
Go ahead and say what you were saying. It's okay.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that this is serious.
You have to mute the volume of all the other things that are open.
I don't see, because I've been trying to enter and I couldn't. Somebody else will talk.
Okay. Anyone else? Auntie's figuring her thing out.
Okay. Can I go? Can you hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you.
All right. So what resonated? So this year, focus on your strengths and not your weaknesses. I find out that at the workplace, it's very easy for people to look for 1, 2, 3 things that you're not doing, or that is not practically, and then they forget the 100 things that you always do well. So I am not waiting for anyone to look for those things, and I am putting them together. And quickly, before you ask anything, I'll tell you, I'm very good at this. I'm able to do this one. And if you ask me the other one, you can pass on that. It's not important anymore to me, because I'm not going to focus on it. Not because I can't deal in terms of trying to improve, but I don't want them to define me. I used to give the analogy that those days in in our FMCG business. We would say that if you were selling ice cream, the natural thing is they will tell you when it's rainy season, you should run a promo. And it was somebody that told us, no, that's not correct. You should always reward a behavior that would happen naturally. So we should reward, so put the promo in the dry season when people want to take ice cream so they can buy more and spend a lot more. And we got a lot from that. So that is one principle I've held on to, and I think it aligns with what you just said. And then be yourself. Me, as I said, I just like to make jest out of everything. Don't take myself too seriously, because if I do, I will end up with headaches, which I don't want. And we've already agreed here that we shouldn't even allow those things to set in the first place. So I would keep on with my looking for things that make me laugh heartily, and just be at peace with myself. And whatever makes me feel good, I'll just go out there and do it. Someone said, once you are 50 and plus, you don't owe anybody any apologies. Just be you. And even if you were not, still be you. So that's what I just wanted to share. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well done. Yes, thanks for sharing that. I really believe with that 50. Once you turn 50, you don't owe anybody an explanation. You all will get there at some point, but don't wait till you get there. Once you turn, let's make it to once you turn 40. Once you turn 40, you don't owe anybody an explanation for anything. You just live your life. You live your life and rewrite your life's philosophy, update them. You cannot keep living on the same thing you had when you were 12 years old, or when you were when you were in college, when you were in your 20s. Life has happened. Update your life, your life's message. What is it? Who are you now? It's important, especially for women, to do this. Who are you now? And how are you going to live your life? I was talking to a wife who, myself and her husband were trying to agree on something, and the husband was like, no, this is the way we're going to do it, and this is the way we're going to do it, and she was like, wait, what are you talking about? No, we're not back 15 years ago, 20 years ago. No, in this day, when me too, I'm going to work and do stuff, we're going to both agree this is how we're going to do it. We have to update this. We're partners. Are we partners or not? So you have to have those conversations, not just with you, with yourself, but of how you're going to live your life with those around you. Some of you are still treating your grown children as if they're kids, as if they are, you know what I mean, kids, like as if they were still 2, 3, 4 years old. When you have a grown person. So those are things that we need to really update in our lives this year. So thanks for sharing that. And anyone else? Shernette says that I am going to accept that I don't have to be involved in everything, and it's okay to take time out for myself. Yes, Shernette. We all say, let's all agree with Shernette. Yes. Come on, give her some encouragement. Unmute yourself. Oh,
yes.
Nobody wants to encourage. Okay.
Yes, we agree with her.
All right.
I'm going to say
yes, we encourage you.
Yes.
What did Moni say? Moni
I'm going to say no as well, because
okay.
I'm
Yes, with Moni, everybody. Yes, with Moni.
Yes.
Let's encourage
Moni.
her.
Thank you.
Yes,
All right. We didn't say yes to Buki too. Come on, let's do yes to
Buki.
Yes to Buki.
yes.
Excellent. All right. Who else wants to tell us? Who wants to share? This is how we're ending this program today. Anybody else wants to share what they learned, what they're moving on with this happiness stuff? Anyone else? We're not going to force anybody, but is that it? Are we good?
Going to laugh.
Are we good?
You
sure?
Me?
Juliet,
Yes,
no, go ahead.
I'm going to be my true, authentic self in 2023 and be comfortable in my own skin. And I'm also going to ask for help.
All right.
Yes.
Excellent. Yes, yes, everyone. Come,
Yes,
come,
yes.
am I the-
Yes,
okay.
yes, yes.
Make me the only one excited here. I'm
We
excited to
agree
hear.
with you.
All right,
Yes,
all
we
right.
do agree.
Excellent. Anyone else? Anyone else? I want to give you, make sure you get a chance. Anyone else wants to say something before I end it? Are we good? Everybody? It's your chance. Yes.
I know
Yes,
I've
go ahead.
spoken, but I wanted to encourage all of us that one way that I started, I don't know whether it will work for everyone. I mean, to stop being available for everything is to keep looking around for people who can do things that people usually depend on me for. And so I start to recommend other people and put forward other people, especially at work, in church. I say, oh, this person can do this thing nicely. And, you know, I start to give the
Very
whatever,
good.
de-emphasize the attention from myself. Oh, you come
Absolutely.
and MC this. And I said, "Ah, a young person really should be doing this thing. Oh." And they said, ah, which young? I said, let's try this person today. And, you know, like that, you start to make room for
Absolutely.
yourself. So I just thought to share that.
Absolutely. Good idea. Yeah, I practice that too. Well done. Yes, because you can't, if you think you're the only one, then there's something wrong. Well done for building communities, Bookie. Shanette.
Yes, just in addition to that, I am part of the worship team at my local church. And since the new year, I haven't led worship because I knew that I needed to step back, and everything's gone on as normal. They've just filled my spots. So, and I'm very happy. And things have just carried on. So all of that stress I was putting myself under to say, I have to be there, I have to be there, you know, they've just continued. And so I'm taking the time I need to step back and heal from all the stuff which has been going on in my life. And I don't feel ashamed or disappointed. And nobody's said anything to me. They've been very supportive. So all of that was going on in my head.
Yes, yes.
When you, yes, right. When you think you are, I mean, wait, I'm telling you, life will go on, guys. Don't kill yourself. Do not kill yourself. Choose life. Choose life. Choose life. Choose life. Choose to live, right? And don't die in any one place. All right. And I know if nobody else, thank you for sharing space with me today. I'll see you online, and we'll see you on this Saturday. Hopefully we get both our speakers, the one that was supposed to be here on last Saturday and the one for this Saturday will probably come together. So I'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you for very interesting.
Bye,
chat.
everyone.
Take care.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, Vicky. Bye, everyone.
Bye.